Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for coming through to the show. Lakeshow Digest, we're recording after the Lakers got a satisfying win over the Boston Celtics in LA, 102 to 117. This might have been our most well-played game of the year, to be honest, in terms of start to finish, in terms of just minute 1 to minute 48. We had a really strong second half against the Kings about a week ago, but it was preceded by a really bad first half. This first half was more fine-tuned, although it came with its own frustrations, particularly Anthony Davis and the Robert Williams matchup. He was getting dunked on, he was getting blocked, and there's been a lot of times where Anthony Davis just gets shown up by role players like Williams and other big men, that come across his way. But things changed for the better in the second half. Russell Westbrook led us on a really strong run to the third quarter, and he was also playing some really active defense on Tatum tonight. AD got out of the rut he was in. LeBron continued to look really good offensively. When he's been on the floor, he's been able to get in these really good offensive rhythms, which I think is, he's been injured, but that's indicative of his ability to still maintain a good offensive rhythm. And that's always great to see. But it's always great to beat the Celtics, especially after we embarrass ourselves in the Garden a couple weeks back. But this went about how it should have. We get this win 102 to 117. The Celtics didn't have Jaylen Brown. They only had Jason Tatum and some guys who just aren't that experienced. This isn't the playoff threat Celtics that they once were. So a team of our talent level should be beating the Celtics by this much. And it's really satisfying to see, not just because it was the Celtics, but almost every game we haven't played up to our potential. And a lot of factors have played into that: injuries, bad continuity, a coach whose philosophy doesn't match up with a player's strengths or a lot of the players' strengths. Seeing it all come together felt great. Anyway, today I got Martin with me. We haven't done an episode in a minute, man. How you doing today? Glad you could come on.
Yeah, man, it's been a while. Thanks for having me. And it's all I could say, man, is it's the Lakers winning is nice. It's cool, but it's just so much more beating the Celtics, man. We when they play the Celtics, it's only twice a year. Well, unless they obviously meet in the finals, but those two games, man, they got to win those. So I'm glad they got a really big W tonight against Boston, man.
I know. How's your we haven't talked in a while, man. How has your Laker, experience been this year? You've been watching the games, or like what's been going on?
I've been very in and out, man.
I don't think you're alone there.
So let me just preface it by saying, like, it's been so frustrating, and I think people would know from just like podcast, like the times we've talked, like this is what we love, man. We love the Lakers. Like this is, if you're talking about this team and interacting on social media, you love this team. That's why, honestly, I haven't watched. It's because the Lakers are so much to me, and because like it's so frustrating, and sometimes it literally like will affect me, like my day, and like my my mood, like whether this team's successful or not, which is a problem, honestly, like with sports. If you're a sports fan, you're insane. So like just in general, you've got to be a little bit crazy. So honestly, I've been really in and out because I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch the Lakers blow a 24-point lead to the Oklahoma City Thunder, or whatever it was. I don't know how much. It was definitely like 20. And then losing triple overtime to Sacramento Kings. I got a lot of problems with this team, like philosophically, and just how it's constructed. But they beat the Celtics tonight. And we saw some good things. We saw some highlights. Right before me and you hopped onto this, we saw some things we liked, some things we didn't like. It's still obviously, I'm in it for it's the Lakers. Like I bleed.
We don't have a choice.
I don't have a choice. I don't know whether from since like my earliest memories of watching the Lakers, like when I was 6 years old, like I'm in this. I bleed purple and gold. However, this season, I will be honest, I've been a little bit in and out of watching the games, honestly. So yeah.
Hey, like you said yourself, we were watching some highlights earlier. This might have been one of the games to bring you back in, because the first half wasn't perfect. We saw Anthony Davis just get shit on by Robert Williams. He should be 2020 AD, championship winning AD is not letting that shit happen. He's being a lot more active. And that could be for a number of reasons. People are theorizing because of the extra muscle mass he put on.
Right.
Maybe he's not as, maybe he's not as nimble. Maybe it's messing up his jump shot. Maybe that's playing a part. I think that's all totally valid. But I don't think you're wrong in distancing yourself from the team a little bit. Because sometimes I'll watch them put up these really shitty efforts and just be like, why did I just waste my time, for 2.5, 3 hours just watching them not give a shit? But this was one of the really good games where I'm like, thank God that I sat down and, made time to watch them, especially because it was against the Celtics.
Right.
I got the box score pulled up right here. One thing you pointed out was Robert Williams had some big plays, but he was actually minus 20. So that's kind of
funny.
Funny.
That was definitely something I saw, but man, the 3 plays that he did have, that's the only thing. That's the only thing that's going to be on, Bleacher Report basketball tomorrow. And I mean, honestly, as they should, they were crazy highlight plays. But one thing that stood out to me, was just, first of all, Boston's not very good. That stood out to me. Jason Tatum is fucking amazing.
It was all Tatum. Look at him, 34 points. The rest of these people don't crack 15.
No, and he did it on 22 shots. Having said that, look at LeBron, 30 points on 19 shots. Like that's just amazing that he's this many years in the league and he did it. And he was again our best player. And like you said, AD, definitely, it's weird, man. Like
he finished with 17, but hey, he only 16 boards. That's pretty
right.
Big.
16 boards. That's great.
I'll take the 17 and 16, man. He doesn't have to go for 25 and 7 rebounds. I'll take a much more harder played game.
Right. Sometimes that's what it takes. And he has, for all the flack, and deserved criticism of AD, but he has been maybe our most consistent player this year. Now, some of that's LeBron out with that COVID game, that weird testing. Then he got suspended, or actually he got suspended before the COVID. And AD has been he's been really good this year, but I think you made up some really good points about, I don't know, it's just different. When we traded for him, he still was, to me, he looked big, but maybe he did put on too much muscle, and it's messing up his jump shot and his fluidity. And I don't know, but I know tonight he had 17 and 16, and that's great. Despite getting banged on by Williams a couple of times, 17 and 16, that's okay if everybody else pitches in and looks as you could see, a lot of other guys.
Steals too. Yeah, I like the stat line from AD. I'm getting pumped over here. Damn, we got a very well-rounded thing. It showed that he, actually hustled harder in the second half.
Right.
And thank God he did, because we were in for a depressing night if he didn't, man. Russell Westbrook, though, plus 11, 24 points, 11 assists, more good stuff from him. Malik Monk, he's just, putting up a good double-digit scoring night again off the bench. Good to see that. Let's see, Melo, 9 points. Yeah, Staples, Melo, and the crazy shit we were seeing in the beginning of the year. That won't keep up forever. So not really surprised by that or anything. It was really all Tatum for the Celtics, man. Look at that.
Yeah, 34. Next highest guy is only 13, and it was Williams. Of those 13, 6 were banging on Anthony Davis. Literally highlight reel put back dunks or lobs on AD's head, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, it was all him. They don't have a threat without Jaylen Brown right now. Marcus Smart, 2 for 7. Yikes. In 33 minutes, Grant Williams, he gave nothing off the bench.
He hurt him a bit, minus 21.
Yeah, Grant Williams.
you might have been actively hurting him.
Grant Williams was a double agent. Boston's not. They didn't look like you said, the title. That is crazy. What happens in sports? They trade for Kyrie Irving, And then that
That seems
year,
so long ago.
it feels like 50 years ago that they traded for Kyrie Irving, and they signed Gordon Hayward. So they had Kyrie Irving and Al Horford and Jaylen Brown and Gordon Hayward, and you were like, shit, this is the most talented team in the East. But then Hayward has this terrible leg injury. Kyrie was not good in the playoffs. So then Hayward leaves, Kyrie leaves, and now they have Tatum and Brown. Are they going to trade one of them? Maybe. Yeah, shit happens fast, man. Life comes at you fast.
I know it does. This seems like that was so long ago, man.
It feels like forever ago.
Looking at these team stats, I mean, yeah, we didn't shoot that good from three. We out rebounded the shit out of them. Look at that, 51-34. We're such a bad rebounding team this year that just seeing AD get 16 boards and seeing us crush them like that on the rebounds, that's probably.
We should. Yeah, they don't have they're not, when you look at that roster, yeah, but Schroeder, Smart, Grant Williams, and Tatum, like, no, you need to out rebound them by 15 or whatever,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good to
We're
see.
plus 24 in points in the paint. I really like the shots our stars were taking. I was looking at the shot chart here too. Let's see. Yeah, I was looking at, here's Russ. So he takes some things from the right wing and, not really getting them, but he's just attacking the hoop, man. And he's also setting people up in the paint too.
Yeah.
When we were watching these highlights to catch up, a lot of our really good plays were like Russ penetrates, and then he dishes it to LeBron or dishes it to Howard, who's also in the paint.
Right.
And they get a really good, just like assist off of that, get a layup or whatever. We're doing a lot of our profiting in terms of offense in the paint. I really like seeing that, and hopefully that's going to be a way that we're going to be a dominant team should it come to that, because that's been something I've been wondering since the first game. I think we talked about it after you came on after the first episode.
We definitely talked about our offense and our offense in the paint because of just like Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Westbrook. That was something we talked about a lot, actually.
Yeah, and maybe maybe in our championship one year, it was a lot of just a one guy getting into the paint and then just scoring on his own. But with a guy like Westbrook, maybe it's just getting two guys into the paint, creating some good actions off of that, and then trying to just generate good points like that.
Right.
If that makes any sense. That was one of my favorite things to see about this game, man. I'm glad we got the win against the Celtics. I'm glad that we were able to pull it off, man. I'm just happy.
Yeah, I'm so happy that we beat the Celtics. Shoot, that's why I'm so glad you let me come on and talk with you tonight, because it's like it really, I don't even care that it's December 7th, man. Beating the Celtics, I hate Boston. Okay, I fucking hate Boston sports. And as a Lakers fan, it means everything. Beating the Celtics.
Yeah, my biggest thing, I just wanted to see them put together two good halves, and it's kind of bad that we're 20-something games in the season now, and that we just want to see them look really good for two good halves.
Right.
But that's where we are with the guys, and it's been injuries, and it's been the coaching staff not really keep doing us any favors. But I know you've had a lot of thoughts on the team, and I want to give you the podium if you want to sound off on anything right now, and take it however you want, man. Take whatever direction you want.
Shit, man. Did they really beat us by 22 the first game of the year?
The Warriors?
No, the Celtics.
Oh, the Celtics. You mean our first matchup?
Yeah.
It was bad. We were down by like 30 that whole game.
Bro, what?
We flipped that shit on them. I mean, we were up by 20 at one point, and
I was just looking at that, and I was like, damn, we did lose by 22. That sucks. But yeah, man. So to me, and I think I might have said it really early on about like philosophically and like structurally, like how it's built. Like, to me, the Lakers, they won, and it is so valid. Their bubble championship. That bubble championship is stamped, man. Like, every player that went to Orlando knew what they signed up for. Everybody in there knew what what they signed up for, and everybody talks about how hard it was, and maybe even it was even harder because you couldn't, leave your obviously your that facility and whatnot. But I just think that this year when I'm like watching the Lakers and like so many mistakes were made, bro, and it just like pisses me off because like it's things that are, I guess the word I'm saying is like preventable, or like the Lakers didn't take initiative in like doing things like so. Um, Lionel Hollins and Jason Kidd left, right? The Lakers bench as assistant coaches. Kidd took the head coaching job. Hollins left as the assistant, and then they replaced those two with Mike Penberthy and David Fizdale. I mean, who the fuck is Mike Penberthy? He was our shooting coach, and he wasn't even good at that. And David Fizdale stunk when he was with the Knicks. The Knicks were like the most atrocious team in the league, and their offense sucked. And it's like, what? I'm not that smart, man. I'm not. But I know that Frank Vogel's strength is defense and his weakness is offense. So let's give him a really David Fizdale and Mike Penberthy. And, the Lakers not re-signing Alex Caruso. Some people might say I sound like a broken record or something, but like, I think it's pretty obvious that Alex Caruso wanted to be back on this team. And he could have been if the Lakers were like, you know what, we're just going to have to pay a little bit more into luxury tax. And I look at the Lakers roster, and you maybe you'll agree with me or disagree with me. I think we have three guys borderline that I don't know should be in the NBA. Should Rajon Rondo and DeAndre Jordan and Avery Bradley be on an NBA roster right now? I don't know, because the Warriors cut Avery Bradley. Maybe that was for a reason. And Steve Nash couldn't play DeAndre Jordan when he was on the Nets. And we saw what happened this year with the Lakers. He sucks, okay? That has nothing to do with DeAndre Jordan's career. He had won a gold medal, and when he was with the Clippers, he was amazing. But Father Time comes. He stinks. And Avery Bradley, maybe he got cut for a reason. Maybe if the Lakers didn't call him right away, maybe no one else would have asked him. So I have issues with the coaching staff and the general manager, Rob Pelinka. He's not exempt. LeBron and AD, I think they pushed so hard for the Russell Westbrook trade, and time will tell. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that was the right decision. But maybe like improving your role players was just better, because in the bubble, I feel like the formula was Anthony Davis is superstar 1, LeBron is superstar 2. Well, actually it was vice versa. LeBron 1 and AD 2, and all really good role players that bought in. And Frank Vogel, you are not exempt from, you've been, some of your lineups this year have been fucking insane, bro. Starting DeAndre Jordan for as long as you did. You start Jordan with Bradley. I mean, oh my God, like, are we not watching the same things, bro? You can't, DeAndre Jordan is borderline not playable in this league. Like, it's that bad, Mateo.
DeAndre is the most indefensible out of all the guys.
Indefensible,
man.
bro.
He's had like 1 or 2 good quarters in like
quarters,
like, yeah, and like 60 quarters of play.
Bro, indefensible. Like straight up, like when I got that alert on my phone, I was like, no, there's no way. There's no way they actually just signed DeAndre Jordan. And Rondo is glued to the bench, as he should be. Rondo is not, I think Rondo, after last year, he wasn't that great with the Clippers.
I think I'm okay with Rondo as a Jared Dudley type, although I know you weren't really down with the Jared Dudley types before,
no, this isn't a charity, bro. I'm not down with Jared Dudley. I'm so glad Dudley's gone. I sound like a get off my lawn right now. I was so over Dudley last year, like just okay, here's the thing. Dudley in the bubble, was cool with that when they first signed Dudley. I was actually cool with that. I thought his veteran presence, and he actually played in a couple of games that year. The second time they brought him back, I was like, okay, this is getting a little dangerous territory. Anyway, those are my problems with the team this year. I sound like so miserable, but I think mistakes were made from the owner. It starts with everybody. I think a lot of people on Twitter, and like, because today Charles Barkley just like blamed everything that's wrong about the Lakers on Anthony Davis. And it's like, no, it's not one person. It's everything. The GM made mistakes. I think our two best players have to be better. And I think our coach and his staff have to be better. So I know I talked a lot, man, just now. So go ahead and tell me what you think of what I just said.
A lot of the stuff boils down to what you said. Time will tell about a lot of it.
Time will tell too.
But if it does go wrong, I can see all those reasons being why. Yeah, I think some of the most indefensible things are signing DeAndre Jordan and then continuing to play DeAndre Jordan.
Continuing to play him, right.
And just not getting a good offensive-minded coach, because
Right.
I don't know what David Fizdale knows in terms of offense. I'm not even sure if he is the designated offensive guy. But there was a clear need to get that. And even in our championship year, we didn't have a well-oiled machine in terms of our offense. It was really just, LeBron penetrate, kick it out, and then AD post-ups, LeBron post-ups. It was pretty simple.
It was very, very simple. Like, we can, like, at the end of the day, in that bubble run, like, LeBron and AD were just unbelievable, right? Like, they were so good. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go on, though.
No, I kind of lost my train of thought. I think Carlisle's supposed to be on the hot seat now. I would love for him to just show up, although I don't know if it's customary for someone to pick up an offensive-minded assistant coach. I can't recall an assistant coach being picked up in the middle of the season. Can you?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. When Terry Stotts got fired, that was someone that was name was thrown
Stotts
around.
and Carlisle were the two guys.
Stotts, I was like really hopeful for. Also, Alvin
the Lakers
Gentry.
like hiring head coaches. Sorry to cut you off, but they like having a bunch of head coaches on their damn
staff. Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Stotts, Carlisle, Gentry. There were some other names.
Hollins, Kidd.
Hollins. I just thought, we it's not the sexy thing. It's not hiring an offensive assistant, right? That's not going to make SportsCenter. Like, so when Team X hires a new offensive assistant, or, but I don't know, man. We're the Lakers. Like, we can't do better than Mike Penberthy. And,
well, we are the Lakers, but I think one of our things is loyalty. And Penberthy was a guy that came up within the system, right?
So I'm not really for a long time.
By a loyalty hire like that.
He was definitely a guy that he's been with the Lakers for almost 20 years. I feel like in the organization. But yeah, I thought like that was know your strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, Frank Vogel, he knows defense. I think he knows, but obviously he could have used an offensive coordinator maybe. And yeah, signing DeAndre Jordan to me was indefensible. And then, like you said, you brought up a great point actually, though. So I'd have to steal what you said. And then continuing to play him, like, you can be pissed off as a coach. You're like, damn, like, you really that was your move. You sign him, but you continue to play him, Frank. Like, for what now thank God he's not getting run, but. Why did you give him run for those 8 to 12 games? That was crazy.
Why did you keep giving him minutes when clearly he was killing us on both ends of the floor, man? That was crazy. This year, I've been surprised at how much too big lineups that we played, and we're still bad at rebounding. And it's just because our guys don't box out, they aren't focused. It's a hustle thing, man. It's rebounding. Just get the fucking rebound, box them out.
Yeah, we saw that in the highlights. There was one that Tatum got his own.
Tatum was like three guys because no one boxes him out.
3 guys. If you're going to play 2 bigs, there is no way the Lakers should be getting out rebounded. They've been getting out rebounded way too much. That's how they've lost these games to like the Sacramento Kings. That one was like brutal. And then of course
by the time that third overtime hit, I thought we were fucked just because like we're too old. We're not going to play hard.
They're too old.
Overtime. Everyone wants to go home now.
they're so tired,
and they were gassed.
So gassed. And I mean, LeBron that night I think played 50 minutes, something crazy. But yeah, they gotta be tired. Yeah, you can't be out rebounded with 2 bigs, man. No way.
Yeah. Something with this team is I'm still waiting for a moment, or maybe just a stretch of games or a week where I'm like, that's a team that can win the championship. And we all knew this was going to take time. I've kind of been talking about it on the last few pods, but I'm still not convinced we're a contender yet. Because
No,
another thing, it's good to see Westbrook hitting his stride a little bit, but I think he's kind of been bad at adapting to situations, and that's what the playoffs is all about. It's a damn chess match. When a team gets to see you over and over again, and then it's just a game of counters and then counters to those counters. Russ has
right.
been bad at that. He likes to play a certain way, and that's why it can kind of seem like he's banging his head against a wall because he tries shit, and if it doesn't work, he'll try it again with more force next time, and then maybe he'll try it again with more force, and that's what contributes to the frustration with Russ, man. It's a game suited for entertainment for sure. I don't know if it's suited to winning the playoffs, but now he's third on a team with a guy like LeBron, so that's still something that is a question to take
Right.
consideration.
I think just like really quickly, because what you said was like, I agree, because like watching Westbrook when he's not on your team is such a blast, man. Like when he was with the Thunder and then the Rockets and then the Wizards, I was like all for it. I was like, but when he's on your favorite team, like it can be a little maddening. Like you said, it's about adapting. Oh, this team is now going man to man. Okay, well, we need to adapt and go this way. Oh, they're actually running this 2-3 zone. Well, we have to do that. But like you said, I think Russ is like, no, I'm going to get my 2 points this way. And if it doesn't work, try one. I'm going to do it with more force, more. And it's like, yo, sometimes, like you said, it's about just adjusting. In the playoffs, especially, that's my biggest concern about this team is because
but LeBron knows how to do that shit. If something
he's
doesn't work,
he's maybe the best ever.
he's probably the best ever at it, which is why maybe having a guy like LeBron in control in the playoffs with a guy like Westbrook, it's just all about using him right. And I don't know the clear
Right.
path to using him right. Nights like this make me feel like, oh, there is some we can build up. I still don't know if it's some that's going to win an NBA title, because to win an NBA title, you just need goddamn consistency, and we haven't seen this consistency most of all on defense, but really offense too. We're just a shitty fucking team some nights, but nights like this change my mind for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely I ditto and ditto. Like, I mean, you can't. I mean, the losses to the Thunder were indefensible, right? But they beat the Celtics tonight, and they looked good, like really good at times, right? Like Russ looked good getting to the paint, and AD with 16 rebounds. That's great, LeBron had 30 points and he took 19 shots, and LeBron was making some up and unders and like being just typical himself. Like they kind of sucked you in, like okay, but then how the fuck did you lose to the Thunder, man?
And then they lost again to the Thunder.
Bro, they just lost by 10,000, to the Grizzlies. Like they literally had the worst loss in NBA history.
They,
Like,
without exaggeration, took the biggest L in history.
no, the biggest L, right? You're talking
This
about
is historically accurate. This is the biggest L in
historically.
history.
This is not like me trying to sell a story. No, they took the biggest L in the history of the
It's
game.
in the record books, yeah.
They lost by 70 something. So I'm like, oh my God, we lost that team.
Hey, I don't think they had Josh Giddey though. We were getting cooked by.
They didn't have Giddey.
It wasn't the same team, bro. They didn't have Giddey.
The Australian phenom that is Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
But yeah, like nights like tonight, you get a little bit excited. Like,
you get hope. You start thinking that
it's human. It's human nature. You see Malik Monk with this windmill dunk on the break, and you're like, damn. Like, and you see Russ making good reads and not being so like out of control, and you're like, okay, it sucks you in a little bit, but they have to be consistent.
Yeah. Just going back to what I was mentioning earlier, waiting for a stretch to be like, oh, this team can win a championship. I just pulled the schedule. We're going to look at it. Let's see if we can find
a
stretch.
Because it's about to be a lot of road games, right? I feel like we're going on the road.
Oh yeah, we are. Okay, so we got the Grizzlies and we got the hated Thunder. So if we beat the Thunder, that's how I know we're a championship team. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay, we got Bulls, then Suns leading up to Christmas. Shit, man.
Right before Christmas. Okay.
This is kind of a tough one. And then
We
Nets.
still have we haven't done the Grammys road trip, right?
That's
The
usually in February. Yeah.
big Grammys one.
These two games are gonna be measuring sticks, dude. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna be on the road in shit. So we played the Bulls at our home at Staples. So we're gonna be in Chicago for that one, and then we're gonna host the Suns.
And they
Couple days
host
in
us.
between. Okay, these are gonna be our next measuring stick games. We're gonna find out if we're making any progress there. Christmas Day, that's always a big game. Lakers can play kind of shitty on Christmas Day. Harden's been playing, hasn't he?
Yeah, they should be except for obviously anti-vax Kyrie, but
Yeah. This will still be a
regardless,
tough game. There'll be another.
it's still I mean Durant tonight was amazing again. So I mean the Nets are tough, yeah, obviously.
I remember just in our chip year, it was when we beat the Bucks and Clippers that I think it was pretty clear, oh, we are a good enough fucking team to do this shit.
Bro, I still don't know if I appreciated that team as much as I should have. Like that team, what you said was true. It was the Bucks and the Clippers back to back. I remember it was the Bucks on a Friday and then the Clippers on Sunday, and we beat those. We won those games, and I was like, okay, like I think we are going to win the championship. Like this was when the Milwaukee was 1 seed and Giannis was going nuts, and this is when the Clippers were maybe 2 seed and we were on the road. Now it's LA, but it was like an early Sunday game. I remember it was like, man, I remember that so clearly because like the next day COVID happened. So like I'll never forget like those games.
That was the next day. Well, no, we played the Nets the following week, and then I think later at the end of the week, COVID was really starting to heat up, and then shit got shut down.
No, that's not true, bro. Bro, we beat the Clippers, and
I think we lost to the Nets, and then COVID. That was our last game.
I could have swore we beat the Bucks, then we beat the Clippers, and then literally 48 hours later, like a Silver shut. He had to pause the season. I will be bro. My memory on this, I'm gonna be surprised. You said we lost to the Nets and then we shut down. Now I have to know. I have to know.
Let's see. I'm going through the memory banks here. This might have
Bro, look at all these wins. Like, oh my god.
This must be the wrong year.
Oh, I'm looking at the
yeah.
Oh, this is last year.
Lakers schedule. Okay.
But we had a lot. Okay, look at these. Wait, hold on.
Look at the winning streaks we used to go on.
Look at the winning streak.
Okay, step one of officially being back. We need a good I know.
Look at that, man. I didn't appreciate this enough, bro. Like this team was a
we didn't, bro. We had a special team.
They were 17-3, 22-3, 23-3 at one point.
They went out there and they just gave a fuck. Except when they got up 30. That's when they stopped giving.
That's when they stopped. That's when we started to mess around. Okay,
can you smash teams in the beginning? I remember.
Can you scroll down to March?
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm gonna be really surprised if we lost. You're right, bro. Okay,
told you. See,
your memory's better.
Clippers.
We lost to Brooklyn.
I remember because that was the one where AD had a chance to take a game winner and he didn't make it. And then July 30th. This is the regular season.
You're right.
Up to the bubble. Yeah.
So we had one more game. I didn't even care about that Brooklyn game. It was the Bucks and the Clippers.
I know. I didn't care either.
I didn't even care.
I was like, no one could talk shit.
No, I was like, after those games, that's how much I didn't care. I don't remember it happening.
Bro, I was happy for a goddamn week after we beat the Bucks and the Clippers. So,
after the Bucks and Clippers, I was like, yo, fast forward to the finals. Like, like fast forward. Like, this is all right. I've seen what I need to see. And I remember it so much that I literally don't even remember that Nets game happening. And then Gobert gave everyone in the country COVID, and then the rest is
patient zero. Yep.
look at this team, bro. Oh my God, this is nuts. They were
Nasty.
kicking
40.
ass.
This is the 40-20 game.
He
AD
made,
40,
I think he
20
had like 20
boards.
free throws that night. Look at AD's stat lines.
Bro,
Holy
this
shit.
is what we need. We need to go on like some winning streaks like this. This was like a 10-game fucking winning streak here.
Special team. Look at that.
4-game losing. This is when shit was bad. Remember that?
That was rough. That 4 games. That was
There's a lot of
freaking,
slander going. There's a lot of
because we
uncertainty.
lost to the Clippers on Christmas. Pat Bev knocked it out of LeBron's hands, and I was like, shit, are we really not gonna beat the Clippers again?
We're gonna lose it all. No, we need to go on some strong winning streaks like that. And we just need to get some statement wins over big teams. A team that I would, count as a big fucking team. Shit, man. Honestly, Phoenix and Golden State, those are going to be the 2 measuring stick games. March 5th,
I've been trying.
March 5th, Warriors, March 13th, Suns. It's around this time, like early March, when you want to start finalizing your playoff form. And then at the end right now, you're kind of resting dudes. Like these games, you might be resting dudes. Oh, we're going to have a Warriors game late in the year, though, because they're in our conference.
That's so, like, I'm trying to wrap my head around that. We're done with the Celtics this year. I think that's kind of whack on the schedule.
It is weird because usually we
makers.
play them the first time on Martin Luther King Day.
MLK.
And we usually play an MLK, or we play some big game, and then we play our second game in like February.
This is kind of lame. It's not even Christmas, and we're done with the Celtics. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, it kind of has to do with like traveling or something. I think they wanted to keep.
I think hopefully it's for the right reasons. It's to avoid like teams. Like you said, travel concerns.
Yeah, but in winter we obviously have some big statement games coming up. We're playing the Bucks again. That'll be we're going to be at home for that one. So we're looking at the schedule here. It looks like if the Lakers are at bottom, it's home.
But see, that's my thing with this team is like you are 100% right. But how do you feel about this Thursday? Like I don't feel great. Like they're a statement against the Grizzlies. I don't feel great.
The first time that we played the Grizzlies, the Grizzlies have been kind of shitty historically, because they've been a lottery team, and then they got Ja. Ja's kind of hitting his stride now, man. They're not an easy win anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like
this is a playoff team.
You're right. Like that swing right there where you have the Lakers. I mean the Bulls game and then the Suns game. Like that's true. But this Thursday, I'm
measuring stick right here.
Like I'm like
Bulls and Suns. Sunday, December 19th, and then Tuesday, December 21st. We're either be really happy or really fucking pissed.
Damn it, bro. All right, they got to get their shit. I'm so glad that you hit me like that. I'm back. I'm back into the swing of things. So.
We got you back in, bro. Hell yeah.
you got me back in.
Okay, yeah. So this stretch coming up: Sunday, December 19th against the Bulls. Tuesday, December 21st, Suns. December 25th against the Nets. This is we're gonna find out if this little momentum we're drumming up is for real. Fuck, it was a real bummer that we couldn't pull it off against the Clippers, but LeBron really didn't look like himself, man. I don't know if you caught highlights of that.
I saw the highlights. Yeah, I don't know if it was like what he was on. It was the suspension or what. He definitely didn't look like himself.
He couldn't practice while he was under quarantine or whatever kind of limitations he was under. So he was out of game shape. If he doesn't train for 2 or 3 days, that'll kind of fuck you up. Yeah, he was just moving really gingerly around the court. I thought he was, taking jumpers mostly. Definitely didn't look like himself. Real bummer we couldn't get that win against the Clippers, but we have some opportunities to look good. Mavericks and Lakers, that always ends up being a good game. Luka always just brings his A game against LeBron.
Yeah, Luka will. By the way, just like a little sidebar, you saw that like Luka, and I've seen it from in his rookie year, but like he says that he plays his way into shape. Did you read that about that today or see that today?
No, but I think I've always heard that as a sentiment about Luka. That's how Shaq used to be. Right.
So that's why I'm bringing it up, because like the report was that like Luka came into camp at like 260 pounds, right? And now, true, this is this guy's 6'8", like pushing 6'9", so 260 on him looks different. But I don't know. I just thought it was like crazy.
Yeah, I wonder what's his normal playing.
What's his playing
What's his
weight?
ideal playing? 240?
Because
Because if it's
as
260 that he came in, so he sounds like he ate some
because
fries
you
at this
said
point.
it, like I remember as a Lakers fan when Shaq got that first ring. That was at 2001. He came in like 330, and I was like, "Holy shit, man! Like Shaq is so big."
He
But then
came
I
in
think
fucking big.
he was so big, but he was like, "I got my ring." Um,
Yeah.
so I think about Luka at 6'8" at 260. Like, goddamn, like that. It's a pretty big dude.
Yeah.
But
Kind of jumping away from the Lakers a bit, but have you seen how Zion's looked in some of these pictures, man? He's looking kind of big.
bro, that's okay. We could talk. We're well versed, man. We can talk about
Yeah.
it, bro. Zion is a donut away from like 320, bro. Like, and I love the kid, man.
I love him
Um,
too. I think he's got a really great attitude and shit, but I don't know if it's like his foot's fucked up and he can't properly train, if he's just not
yeah,
making the right decisions about food and training. It's probably
I,
both.
I will. Yeah, I will say it can't be the easiest thing to have $1 million like in your bank, and then
And then the
live
greatest
in
food in the world.
live in the New Orleans, man. Like we're not talking about the best food in Louisiana or even America. We're talking about some of the best food in the world,
On the planet. Yeah. And
on
you
the
have roots
planet.
there too, don't you?
I have family that lives in New Orleans, man.
Yeah.
Have a I've it's been a while since I've been to New Orleans, but I have cousins and aunts and a family that lives in New Orleans. So yeah, it can't be that easy if you're like if 21 and you check your bank and yeah, you got 5 M's like living. But yeah, Zion, you got to get together, bro, because we miss you hooping out here, man. Zion
I
last year
know.
with he was like he was ridiculous, man. So
He
he's
was
got to
just
get his.
pushing everyone around
He was just
regardless of theirs.
moving people, bro.
He's like 6'6", 6'8", but he's just pushing people out of the fucking
Just
way.
pushing centers, like 7 foot centers, like out of the way. So Zion, hopefully he could come back.
I
Got to
hope he
see you
gets
hoop,
it
man.
together, man, because like yeah, I
Yeah.
miss seeing him play like that. But man, I think that's gonna do it all for me now. We've probably been running like 30 minutes or so. You got any final thoughts before we dip?
My final thought is I have to get back more into the swing of things, man, for the Lakers specifically. But they put me in this position. They've done
They drove you
they've
to it.
they drove me to this position, and it's because it's not a competition like ooh, the fandom or whatnot, but like I'm telling you, like it's because I'm so invested into this team's success. Like it'll like literally mess with me. But time will tell. I think you said that earlier. I think it's so true. I'm excited to see what time is going to bring with this team. I have to watch more I have to watch more Laker games consistently so I can like actually give so I could form an opinion better of what I think is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I guess that would be my final thought.
Hell yeah, man. Great to have you back on. Hopefully we'll be seeing you back on soon.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Take it easy.